I've spent the last several weekends looking for new places to photograph wildlife, and I just stumbled upon this really cool setup here. This is near a state game land, and they have some waterfowl hides here, and it's right next to an osprey nest. The way that I found this spot, I was on eBird researching different locations close to my home, and honestly, there really aren't a lot of hot spots near where I live, so I typically have to travel about 90 minutes to 2 hours away to get to a spot where I'd be able to photograph wildlife that are relatively habituated, that will give me an opportunity to get a somewhat close image. Now, I found a few places that I thought that I would try, and what I have found here in Pennsylvania, quite a lot of times there's signs that say restricted access or do not enter, and I find it kind of funny because these places seem to be set up for hunters and not so much for just the public to be able to enjoy the outdoors sometimes. But that's what I'm finding out here today, and over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to some of these places where people do spot wildlife, but I think it's from a really far away distance that they're spotting these birds. So it's been kind of neat to explore and find out where I really can't go, because I don't want to break any rules. I want to do this all ethically. But I did find this spot right here that is just fantastic, right next to this osprey nest. And this was not on eBird, but this was close to a place that was located on eBird. My number one tip for locating areas to photograph wildlife is to get on eBird and look and see where things have been spotted, and take a drive and understand that maybe the first visit, it needs to be more of an exploratory trip. Maybe finding out that you actually can't get close enough in that spot to be able to photograph wildlife, because there's a big difference between being able to spot something and being in a position where the photograph would be aesthetically pleasing. There's an osprey right now perched way down the road here on a pole. He's just kind of preening. And I'm waiting for him to take off and maybe bring some material back to the nest. The light today, oh, and here he comes. State park and game land websites often include excellent information regarding plant and animal species. Further research helped me to find a potential whitetail location in Ohio. But when I arrived, I discovered that the park setup may not be well suited for photography. It's like a walkway. It keeps you above the actual landscape. It seems like this is probably somewhat of like a marshy area here. And it seems that they probably don't want you down on the ground level. But I have seen some pictures from this park where there is a really nice buck that kind of has me excited. I'm not expecting to see a buck here today. So literally just as soon as I say I'm not expecting to see any bucks, I'm not seeing a buck right now, but there are 2 deer just up ahead here that I see. But again, they're down below this area here where I wouldn't be eye level. But it is kind of neat that already within being here for 3 minutes, I am seeing some deer. As I've been observing these osprey, they definitely didn't like me being in the hides there, so I decided that I would move. There's a gravel road here that I'm standing on right now, and there you can see behind me there's some signs that say entry prohibited, do not disturb the waterfowl, and I'm staying on this gravel road, so I'm not entering where I'm not supposed to be. And I threw on my 200 to 800 and moved back, and the osprey already have been comfortable enough with me standing right here. They both came and they sat on the nest here for a little bit. It was pretty cool too. As soon as I came out here, a couple bald eagles flew from the field behind me and went across to the other way. And I think there must be a carcass or something, because they keep coming back and forth and definitely disturbing the other birds that were over there in that field. As I was out driving around, I noticed what I think may be an osprey nest that has been built like on a platform that is in the middle of the water here. So I did some driving and I figured out that there's a trail here that I think is going to lead to the nest. You can see that the sun's starting to come out. It's still really cold and windy, but I'm walking along this trail. I think it's actually decent ways up here, but I'm super excited because based on what I could see, it might be a really great opportunity. If the osprey build a nest here, there might be some opportunities throughout the year here for some fishing shots and stuff like that. So super excited. This is why you go out and explore, to see if you can find new things. So I was right, I just found the nest. It's in a really interesting spot. It's not gonna be really easy to be eye level. It's definitely up high, but those fishing opportunities I think are gonna be here. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time here in the future. I seem to get into a rut and always go to the same places where I kind of know them and I know what to expect. And not that I can guarantee that I'll get some shots, but I can almost always guarantee that I'm at least going to see something. So it's been really nice to get out and try some new spots and to find this location here. I'm super excited to spend a lot of time here over the next few months and really document these osprey as they build the nest and then eventually have chicks, hopefully. I've wanted a decent shot of a loon for so long. They spend so little time here in Pennsylvania. I've never been able to get one. This guy's moving further and further out, but I think I may have gotten a decent ground level shot of him. More and more ducks are flying in right here. I'm hoping that this guy decides to come back this way. He was literally 10 feet away from me at one point, but I was in my truck, so I wasn't down low and my settings were off. I was trying to fix it. I couldn't tell what was going on. I was so excited. Had the loon shakes, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit and see if he comes back. So these loons, oh, there he is. They pop up and down. You see him for a minute. It's like whack-a-mole. In so much wet mud right now. Don't care one bit. Today with the loons, that, holy cow, we just don't get loons in Pennsylvania like this. And they just stopped by for a very, very short time. And I knew that they stopped at the park that I was at. I happened to be passing through and I was like, you know what, let's give it a try. And I hit the jackpot. What a fantastic time. I hope that this video encourages you to get out and try someplace new. Do a little research before you go so that you're prepared for what there might be and where you might be able to shoot. And that's really what I was doing today, just trying to get a lay of the land, and it just worked out perfectly. If you have been someplace new, leave a comment down below and let me know what you've been photographing. Check out this video over here. I'll see you there.